All right, you may be seated. Good morning, veterans, families, trustees, members of the visiting committee, faculty, students, and friends. Welcome to the dedication of Hawkins Veterans Memorial. A special thank you to the Marine Corps Color Guard. My name is Praveen Kumar, and I am a senior and co-leader of the Alpha Company, Hawkins student-led club that supports active and former military troops, raises awareness of the importance of military service, and honors those who have lost their lives in the lines of duty. Alpha Company was started in 2010 by two seniors, Greg Pasiadis, Brian Vogt, and Peter Scott, faculty emeritus. I am pleased to tell you that they are all here this morning. Seven years ago, our oldest living alumnus and veteran, Mr. William McCoy, class of 1938, came up with the idea for this amazing memorial. Mr. McCoy is also with us this morning.
Good morning. My name is Ella Wong, and I am also a leader of Alpha Company. After Mr. McCoy proposed his idea, a planning committee was formed to discuss the purpose and physical design of the Veterans Memorial. Working with the Advancement Office, they helped raise the funds required to construct and landscape it. Ms. Denise Buckley from our faculty designed its bronze hawks and benches. Then, Mr. Ken Roby, class of 1981, a noted blacksmith, took Ms. Buckley's designs and made them into physical pieces of art. Last May, Alpha Company also assisted in the fundraising by holding a 5K Your Way virtual event. It drew dozens of participants from around the country, and I am pleased to tell you that the 5K event raised more than $14,000 to support our veterans and the memorial. To all of the service members here today, thank you. Thank you for your service. I would now like to introduce you to our head of school, Mr. Scott Looney.
Thank you, Ella, for that kind introduction. And thank you all for being here today. Hawken veterans and their families, thank you for coming. And veterans and active military, thank you for your service to our country. Also, welcome students, faculty, staff, members of the Board of Trustees, and the Visiting Committee. Thank you all for being here today. Today is a very special occasion for Hawkins School. Today we honor the service of 479 women and men of the Hawken community who've served this country during the past 106 years. Fair play is a call to service. Mr. Hawken said the main purpose for the existence of Hawken School is the development of character, and he put fair play up as the central ideal in that effort. Fair play, sorry, we're getting some wind here. You guys can hear me okay, I hope? Sorry, Mother Nature. It is my hope that the call to service embedded in the high ideal of fair play becomes part of every student and every alumnus of Hawken School, which is one reason that we are all students, faculty, alums, staff, trustees gathered here today. We can, and we should, and we will honor all types of service that Hawken students, alumni, faculty, and staff give to the world. But today, we honor a special commitment that these Hawken men and women have made in putting their lives on the line in commitment to others and their ideals. Regardless of the various opinions held of the role of the military or its efficacy over time, I hope we all can agree that the commitment represented today by the individuals being honored is a type of selfless service that calls out the highest ideals of fair play. There is a quote that's part of this monument that says, "All gave some gave all." 14 Hawken Hawks made the ultimate sacrifice for their ideals and our country. That sacrifice is memorialized by the 14 individual Bronze Hawks to my right. This veteran memorial today was 7 years in the making, and we want to give a special recognition to Bill McCoy, Hawken class of 1938, and a life trustee of Hawken, for giving us the idea of honoring our veterans. Bill, today we would like to honor you with a presentation of the American flag that was flown for the last 4 months on our Veterans Memorial. This flag will be given to Bill by Hawken student Praveen Kumar, class of 2022. Over the last 2 years, Britton Lincoln, class of 94, chaired our planning committee and was instrumental in navigating this project to final success. Thank you, Britton, and the members of the Veterans Memorial Committee for your dedication, your support, and your vision to make this happen today. Thank you all. I hope this is living up to your expectations. It's exceeded anything I could have hoped for, so thank you. The Veterans Memorial Committee held a blind design competition, and I was thrilled but not particularly surprised when the most visionary design came from our longtime inspirational faculty member, Denise Buckley. Ms. Buckley's creation of 14 individually designed hawks, which are uplit at night along with our country's flag, which is then surrounded by a ring of hawk nest benches to invite our gathering in our community, felt like a perfect and a poignant way to honor those in our community who've made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you, Denise, for honoring the members of our community by dedicating yourself to this incredible artistic endeavor, and it'll be a part of your enormous legacy at Hawken School. So thank you, Denise. I also want to thank Jeff Bigger, class of 68, for his unbelievable commitment to this project and making sure it was perfect for this location and for this moment. This has clearly been a labor of love for Mr. Bigger, so thank you, Jeff, for making this an extraordinary. I also appointed him the unofficial czar of White House preservation. He's a now to begin our program, I would like to introduce the person who had so much to do with this moment, taking this idea and giving it energy and leadership. Britton Lincoln, trustee, alumnus and of course, proud parent of Hawken students, Gunnar and Briggs. Britton.
There is a bit of fall in the air, is there not? Scott, thanks very much for the very kind introduction. Well, welcome, one and all. Thank you so very much for being here with us today as we dedicate a portion of this magnificent landscape to the celebration of military service, and more specifically, military service given to our nation by members of the Hawken community. Over the 106-year history of our school, no less than 479 individuals, alumni, faculty, and staff have served our nation within the armed forces. Their personal sacrifice, and that made by generations yet to come, is worthy of commemoration. To that end, Hawken has cultivated the Veterans Memorial we inaugurate today. I am immensely proud of our school for this undertaking. I'd like to take a moment and ask all active duty members, currently serving members, and veterans to please stand and be recognized, if you would. Thanks to each of you for your service. So it's my charge this morning to express our community's appreciation to all of those who deserve recognition for their crucial efforts put forth individually and collectively to create that memorial. There are many who deserve our thanks, so it's best that I attend to the task post haste. Before all else, I wish to thank, as Praveen and Scott did, Bill McCoy. The incipiency of this effort dates back nearly 10 years to a conversation shared by Scott and Bill. During that exchange, Bill noted that we honor within our Lyndhurst Chapel the 12 Hawken alumni who died in service to our country during World War II, and suggested that we do something here at the upper campus to celebrate all veterans. If not for his suggestion, this effort never would have been born. I wish to thank Scott as well. Not only did Scott for numerous years keep alive the idea brought to life by Bill, but he also offered vociferous support when I approached him about leading an effort to evolve the concept and make it reality. Through it all, Scott has been an ardent supporter. The Alpha Company, Hawken student-led military service group, deserves our unbridled appreciation. This talented group, with a noble charter, has been central to our planning efforts from concept to conclusion. What's more, this past Memorial Day, Alpha Company, as you heard, organized a virtual 5K run for the Hawken community. In total, the event raised in excess of $14,000, $10,000 of which Alpha Company donated to the Veterans Memorial Campaign. Though all club members deserve our praise, several have been particularly involved. Many thanks to Heather Arslanian, Katie Gretter, Praveen Kumar, Lindsay Milborn, Lauren Wertel, Ella Wong, and Julie Agar, Alpha Company's faculty advisor. Julie. Hawken's Visual Arts Chair, Denise Buckley, has been central to our design process from the start. The conceptualizations she proffered inspired the monument's final form, and Denise herself molded the 14 bronze cast hawks that stand just west of the monument, one each for the members of our community who lost their lives while in service. For her many contributions, we cannot thank Denise enough. Ken Roby, Hawken class of '81, also lent his unique talents to our project. He designed and fabricated several elements within the memorial to include the benches, decorative handrails, and stands upon which the aforementioned hawks are perched. Ken, thank you very much for being a part of this effort. Our memorial would not look as it does today without the significant contributions made by Heidi O'Neill of O'Neill Landscape Design and Installation. Heidi helped us create, I believe, an inviting space that brilliantly bridges the gap between the historic and contemporary elements of our campus. From the start, the planning committee wanted a memorial to, all at once, blend in and stand out. Heidi was somehow able to solve the paradox. Our memorial is, I hope you will agree, both an inviting and comfortable space, designed intentionally to be a place for congregation. We hope that this new outdoor aspect of our campus will attract and accommodate activity of all kinds. And while here, may the memorial elicit from each visitor a moment of solemn reflection. Thank you, Heidi, for helping us to create such an appropriate and poignant space. Jim Milano of Milano Monuments is here with us today. He and his team dedicated a great deal of time to ensure that our 25 recognition stones, those bearing the names of all 479 celebrated veterans, were perfect in every way. Black granite was shipped from India and milled to exacting standards. Thank you, Jim, for all you've done. A hearty and sincere thanks goes to the multitudes of financial supporters of this project, many of whom are here today. To date, we have raised in excess of $300,000. No matter the amount one has given, each donor deserves our appreciation, as their generosity also carries with it a vote in favor of this project. Financial support is important, yes, but communal enthusiasm is indispensable. Thank you, all. Okay. To the 8 members of Hawken's Veterans Memorial Planning Committee, I'm forever in your debt. Randy Reiser, Martin Schultz, Lindsay Leighton, David Coleman, Lauren Piccini, Sierra Pearson, Peter Scott, Jeff Bigger. Hawken is so very fortunate to call you its own. It has been a delight to work with each and every one of you. Your intellect, energy, generosity, and passion were the keystone of this project. Thank you 1,000 times over, and then again. Would you all please stand to be recognized? Though I played a small part in the creation of this monument, I cannot rightfully take credit for its existence. One man alone has been the driving force behind the cause. Jeff, would you please come join me on stage? In the significant effort required to bring this memorial to life, I, along with the individuals already mentioned and many others who I failed to recognize, comprise the ensemble. Jeff has been our conductor. Jeff has been central to all aspects of this project. Indeed, it is impossible to overstate the magnitude of his contributions. I might simply say that without Jeff, we would not have the occasion to meet like this and for this today. To honor Jeff, we've constructed a small presento. Here again, Denise Buckley is the genius behind the Hawk, and Nick DeGiorgio, Hawken's director of Makerspaces in our media lab, fabricated and assembled everything else. Janet Katzen was my right hand. Denise, Nick, Janet, thank you very much. I hope this doesn't fly away. Jeff? Jeff, this is for you. As the inscription reads, given to Jeff Bigger, given to Jeffrey Bigger, full name, 23 September 2021, in recognition of your unebbing dedication to the Hawken community, and more specifically, the military veterans within. Your many contributions to our school will endure indelibly. So too will our appreciation for all you've done. Now, please.
That's not the script you gave me. Thank you very much.
You deserve it all. Absolutely. Alas, I have one last task to accomplish while commanding the lectern this morning. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome today's keynote speaker. Indeed, I've already mentioned his name as he served as a member of our Veterans Memorial Planning Committee. Here, Peter Scott needs no introduction. Pointless it is for me to regale this assembly with stories of the man. Pete's countless contributions to our school are well known to all. Yes, he is a beloved and cherished member of our school's faculty alumni, but he is also a soldier, and as such, the perfect person to share with us some thoughts on this occasion. When very young, I knew Peter as the father of Jacob, a fellow Hawken lifer and one of my best friends. As I grew, I came to know Peter like so many other Hawken students do, both as a teacher and mentor. Years later, my relationship with Pete would evolve once again, though we were separated by great distance and time. After my schooling, and in part because of the example that Peter had set, I joined the military. For the better part of 12 years, my service included direct engagement with enemy forces. Experiences that changed me as much or more than anything in life, save the gift my wife, Kate, gave me in the birth of our 3 children. In the wilds of Afghanistan, in the vast desert stretches of Iraq, in the streets of Mogadishu, and in numerous other places around the world, Peter's service in Vietnam, for which he is highly decorated, came alive for me in inexplicable ways. Our respective experiences in combat, though had in different generations and on different fields, has given rise to a kinship that can only be shared amongst brothers in arms. We don't speak often, but when we do, our conversation is basked in the warmth of understanding. I cherish his friendship. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct honor for me to welcome to the stage my teacher, my mentor, my dear friend, Peter Scott.
A few years ago, excuse me, an old friend from college and Army days, a Vietnam veteran too, whom I hadn't seen in decades, came to visit. His name is also Peter. Ages ago, when Peter was a young artillery officer, he gave clearance for a fire mission that killed 3 civilians. And for that, he still suffers remorse. We talked and talked, walking on the wooded path at the botanical garden. I remember how surprised he was, how utterly amazed he was when I said something positive about the Army. He said he couldn't believe I was still loyal to the military after what we'd seen and done. 50 years and you're still a fan, he said. I guess I am, I said. He asked why. Maybe it's my DNA. My son's namesake, my great-great-great-great-grandfather, lost an ear to a Seneca hatchet at the Battle of Oriskany in 1777. I was raised by the World War II generation. Excuse me, my father was a naval officer and my mother was a Red Cross nurse. More important, the military gave me the chance to experience a culture of loyalty. Not loyalty to a politician or a particular government, not to a cause, but to one another. It is where everyone agrees that no one will be left on the battlefield. No one, ever. Loyalty? Ask a Marine. I have the everlasting honor to have served with men who lost their lives in service in combat. For me, this gathering today is a chance to remember and honor 4 paratrooper friends who fell 50 years ago and who will live as long as I do. And today's a chance to honor those unsung veterans of the very dangerous war in the shadows, the people who will neither confirm nor deny anything they have ever done. I tried reminding Peter that the Army gave us free food, free clothes, and free medical care for the rest of our lives, and the chance to jump out of airplanes, right, B? Yeah. But Peter wasn't moved. I said that in the military, I learned stuff that still matters to me. I learned about humility. I'll bet every veteran here will agree that the loneliest place on earth is a bunk in a dark boot camp barracks. I learned that it matters that you carry yourself upright, erect, at all times. Sorry. Got it. Not to bend or to stoop ever. When I was painting my ranger buddy's face with camouflage before a night patrol, I understood that we are our brother's keeper, no matter his culture or race. I knew then that should he or I come home with a torn body or with the wound between the ears, the other will look out for him always. In the end, for most of us, for me and for Peter also, it all comes down to 3 words. The 3 words that are our lifetime dog tags. 3 words that are scoffed at by some who don't understand, but are our everlasting values. Duty, honor, country. Thank you. I was gonna thank Jeff Bigger especially, but he said not to, so I won't. Thank you.
Good morning, Hawken. My name is Martin Schultz, class of 1982, lifer, and I'm also the proud father of Sears Schultz, class of 2016, lifer at Hawken, who's here today. Thank you, Mr. Scott, for such a great and short conversation, but right to the point, duty, honor, country, I like that. But wow, what a tough act to follow. Mr. Scott was part of the Vietnam generation that served, and for those of you who know that was a very difficult time for this country, and a lot of the vets never were thanked. And every time I meet a Vietnam veteran, I thank him or her. And I want to thank you, Mr. Scott, for your service. As you can tell from some of the conversations we've had today, tradition, custom have a long history, if you will, in the profession of arms, harking back to the Roman Empire through today. Examples obviously are flags, guidons for unit identification, and the salute. We're all familiar with the salute, which is an exchange, a greeting amongst comrades, amongst superiors, and amongst subordinates. And as you know, it's from the right hand because it comes from dropping the sword in order to provide that greeting. There's another tradition out there, it's called a challenge coin, or a medallion, which is also one of the time-honored traditions that we've had. A coin usually bears the insignia or emblem of a military unit and or event, and are offered as recognition of a special achievement, membership of an organization, or a special event. In history, the Roman Empire awarded soldiers with coins for certain achievements. French Protestants, the Huguenots, used them to get through enemy lines. World War I, American volunteers provided solid bronze coins in appreciation, and it followed through to today, even with the Office of Strategic Services, the precursor to the CIA. Today, most coins are given by commanders or command sergeant majors at special events like today, and many members collect them. The one that we have today that we will be honoring and giving to our veterans, why don't we ask the Alpha Company to come up? And they'll be providing the coins to each of the veterans here in attendance today. The ones with the red carnations. So the actual coin itself, the one side shows the services, Coast Guard, Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy. And the back side shows honoring our veterans, Hawken School 9/23/21, that the better self shall prevail and each generation introduce its successor to a higher plane of life. Thank you to all our veterans. I will be followed by Colonel Randy Reiser, class of 1970.
Morning. I invite you all to stand. It is my distinct honor to call the roll of the 14 Hawken alumni who gave their lives in service to our country. When the roll call is concluded, I ask you to join with me in a solemn gesture of gratitude and respect for their sacrifice. All service members, active or veterans, in or out of uniform, please render a hand salute. All civilians, please place your hands, right hand over your heart. Stevens Chamberlain, class of 1925. George Stanley, class of 1929. Edward Brown, class of 1932. Edward Lenahan, class of 1932. Michael Silver, class of 1932. Kenneth Baker, class of 1934. William Bishop, class of 1934. John Putnam, class of 1936. Willard Walker, Walker, class of 1936. Daniel Hanna, class of 1937. Roderick Gillis, class of 1938. James Green, class of 1938. Eric Hitchcock, class of 1970. Harold Reichel, class of 1982. Present Harms. Order, Harms.
Thank you all once again for joining us this morning. We hope that you will walk around and through the memorial, taking stock of the many thoughtful details throughout. Afterwards, please join us in the White House for refreshments and camaraderie. Again, thank you.